everyone, welcome back to CJ Explores. I'm Charlotte and I travel with my husband Corey, currently behind the camera. And in this vlog, we're going to show you the best of Bath. We're at the famous Sally Lunn house right now, and this is the oldest house in Bath. It dates back to 1482, but it's more famous because it is home to the Sally Lunn bun. It's a famous bun. I think it's made of like eggs and milk, and you can go in there and you can get like sweet and savoury toppings. It's like a little tea house. You go in there in the daytime, and you can also go in the evening, but you need to book for the evening. We are visiting Bath at Christmas, so if you do want to see more of what it's like to visit the Christmas markets here, which are very famous in the UK, we're going to do a separate vlog. We'll link it up top. First thing we're going to do today on our little one-day trip to Bath is go and visit the Roman baths. I think it's probably the most famous thing to do here. It is such an important historical site here. Very interested and excited to go visit them. They were actually buried beneath the city for hundreds of years, and then they were discovered in the 19th century. So it should be quite fascinating. Hello. We don't have any tickets. Yes, please. Hello. Can we buy 2 tickets, please? Yeah. Okay, so we paid that entry fee. It's currently £17.50. I think it might fluctuate throughout the year and at the time of the week and the holiday seasons, but we pay £17.50. You get an audio guide, and obviously you get to walk around the baths, and we can go actually down a level, so we go closer to the baths. You can't go in them. I feel like I thought for years when I was younger you could go in them. You can't go in them. I think it's a health and safety. But they have restored the area, so it is as if you were here in the 4th century AD, around that time, and having a nice bath with your fellow Romans. Though you can't swim in these waters, there are other spas in the city of Bath where you can go for a swim. It's using the thermal water. So if you're going to spend a couple of days here, definitely add that into your itinerary. I love all the steam that's coming off of those baths because we're visiting in December. In winter, it's very icy cold today, but that means we can see all that steam rising from the baths, and it just looks really nice, and it's very warm, like a big bath. Pretty cool. So this is actually all the water coming out, the sacred spring. We're at the main bath now, down on the main floor, and it is absolutely stunning because you can see all that steam coming up and the light is reflecting through it. There's music, like live music around. It just creates such a great atmosphere here, and you just imagine what this place was like with a big roof on top.
So there used to be a roof over the Great Bath here, and it was 20 metres high. They have models inside, like scale models, so you can see what it looked like. But because the roof is not here anymore, I guess it's caved in or been demolished. There's now algae that's growing in the pool, and that's why it's not safe to swim in there anymore or go in there or bathe in there, because the algae is growing because of the sunlight that's now hitting the water.
Next to the Great Bath is the main spring. Now you can't actually walk around this one, but you have created like this little, they've got like a little viewing platform here that we can look down into the bath, and you can actually see all of the gas bubbles rising up here. So it's quite a nice little perspective here.
So when you come to the end of your tour, you can actually taste some of the bath water. Now, a lot of people over the centuries have said that this has some healing properties. It has a slight taste to it, and it is warm because it comes from the thermal spring. Yeah, it's not great.
I don't want to, I'm scared. It's warm water. Well, that was really, really interesting. We learned a lot of stuff, and the baths were really beautiful in there. Do you like them?
Yeah, it was really cool. The Romans obviously are like the masters of civilization, and they brought a lot of new technology to different regions which they conquered, and one of them being Britain. They brought a lot of technology here, and you can see it in the baths. The way that they built their stone floors and their walls and everything was just so modern for its time. It was all heated. You can probably tell from our attire and from everyone walking around us that it is very cold here. So our next mission is to go find a nice hot drink. And we all know my classic, my favorite.
Mocha!
A mocha. Let's go find a nice mocha for us.
Thank you, bye! Nook lives up to its name, a little nook.
Okay, we are caffeinated and motivated, so we are going to go next to the Abbey, which is a pretty prominent position overlooking the city, and it's right next to the River Avon. There's a beautiful bridge there. We're going to go check it all out. Let's go.
Now the great thing about Bath is that all the main attractions are within walking distance, so literally just a corner from the Roman baths is the Bath Abbey. There's just a donation fee on entry, so it is very budget friendly, and we're going to go check it out. It is absolutely beautiful in here, and as you can see, it's quite light. Usually when you go into big cathedrals or churches or abbeys, they're usually quite dark, but this is beautiful. It's got so many windows, absolutely stunningly decorated. We're going to have a look through them all because there's all these stories on there about the first king of England, King Edgar the Peaceful, and actually the Abbey was founded in the 8th century after Christ, so it's a very old building. I'm sure there's lots of tales to be told here. We're going to have a little look around. I see. We were looking at which window, stained glass window, was showing the story of the first King of England, and we have found it. It is over there. You can see King Edgar being crowned in 973. I don't think you're usually supposed to walk on top of graves, but here it's kind of unavoidable. I think there's just tombs everywhere we walk, all over the sides. I think, unfortunately, you're just always walking on people buried below. But they have beautiful carvings on the floor, so you're just constantly reading all along the walls, all along the floor, and then looking at the pictures on the stained glass. The Abbey floor is made up of 891 flat gravestones, called ledger stones. I did think we're walking a lot of graves, and I am correct, 891, wow. And I guess that doesn't include the surrounding walls, or is that different, like tombs, there's not enough space on the floor, or is that people buried in the side? There's a lot of spirits here. We are now at Pulteney Bridge, and this is probably one of the most famous locations in all of Bath, and actually the one I was most looking forward to. It is just absolutely gorgeous, very iconic. If you Google images of Bath, this is sure to come up. It's one of the most photographed examples of Georgian architecture, and it's one of 4 bridges in the world that still has shops across it. We're going to take a look along all the shops that run alongside the bridge. One of only 4 bridges in the world which have shops running the whole way. So we wanted to go down to the gardens to get a nicer look of the bridge, but you actually have to enter Parade Gardens and it costs £2 per person. We're definitely going to go, so it looks really pretty and I want to see the bridge from that angle. £4? I can't say I've ever paid. No, that is a lie. You do pay to enter like gardens before, don't you? £2 each. It doesn't really break the bank and it means that it's treated well. It's very pretty. I think Bath is such a beautiful city. Like, I briefly visited here years and years ago, but this is the first time I've really explored the city and seen it more as a tourist rather than just like a passing visitor. And it is really gorgeous. And I think to come in winter too is really special. The air is crisp and there's a Christmas atmosphere around. It's lovely. And I think Corey, as a non-British person, is really enjoying it too, aren't you? Yeah. So Pulteney Bridge was built in 1774 and it was actually built because the Pulteney family lived on the other side of the river and they wanted a quick access into the city. So obviously they had a little bit of money and they were wealthy enough and I guess had enough influence that they were able to build this bridge crossing over to the city of Bath. Not too bad. Also, if you're a fan of Les Mis, you may recognise this scene because this was a scene where Javert jumped off the bridge to his death. A little bit morbid, but actually a lot of Les Mis was filmed in England and I instantly recognised that from the movie because I'm a big fan.
So yeah, it's a super nice gardens. It's actually always been ticketed. That domed ticketed office has been there since the gardens were constructed. And it gives you a really good view of the bridge and you're also very close to the Abbey as well. So you're right in the centre of it all. But yeah, nice secluded gardens and yeah, a really nice peaceful place to come and hang out.
I bet it's pretty in summer.
I bet it's very pretty in summer. But in winter it's just as beautiful, especially in these December days. It's very crisp here before the rains come in January and February.
This is the entry to the Guildhall market, so they've been here for hundreds of years. A lot of bargaining used to happen here and now it's just a nice little market. It's a little bit Christmassy in there at the moment because of the time of year, but it's there all year round.
It's a very authentic old trading place. There's a lot of history here and a lot of traders here who have been here for a very long time. Super nice.
Thank you. Some ribbons for my hat, my summer hat. I lost my ribbons in London and that was about 6 months ago. Finally got some new ones. Well, we were very, very hungry after walking around Bath today, so we have come to Cascara. It's a nice little cafe right in the city centre. It's actually 100% vegan. We've got a couple of coffees, so Corey has got a matcha and I have got a turmeric latte. And we've ordered some cheesy melts, so I went for a chickpea melt with vegan cheese in and mustard and celery mayonnaise. It sounds very yummy, and Corey's gone for a marmite and cheese toasty. Classic. Oh Jesus, that was my first time trying matcha.
You don't like it?
No, I've avoided it because I don't have caffeine.
Is it caffeine?
Yeah, so but it's very like a reminds me of like seaweedy kind of, and it's really not something I enjoy, but I like my turmeric.
Well, that is all for our adventures in Bath today. We've had a lovely day. It's been a new experience and it's been really nice to see the Roman history of the area.
If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you're not subscribed already, make sure you do. We are off now to explore the Christmas markets of Bath, so make sure if you visit Christmas, you go check that one out also. See you in the next one.
Bye.